Hi, this is John from Peach Guitars, and today I want to talk about 3 major new lines that are being released from Gibson guitars. On the 29th of April sees probably the most important release in Gibson's history since the original guitars from the 50s and the 60s, the original Les Pauls, SGs, etc, etc. I think a lot of guitar fans have been, if you play guitar, you're probably going to love Gibson guitars and those original 50s and 60s guitars like I spoke about, like the seminal 59 Les Paul, which I'm sure we've all lusted after. You know, guys like Joe Bonamassa and Gary Moore, Peter Green, all of our favourite guitar players have played these iconic guitars. And in the last few years, we've all kind of wished, why don't Gibson just make them like the old ones at the, you know, kind of in the lower price points. I know they do some fantastic custom shop guitars, which are some of the best guitars in the world with some of the best tones and the best woods and construction going, but we've all kind of wished that some of that mojo and vibe would kind of filter down to their USA standard lines. And a lot has kind of been said over the last few years about the way that Gibson has been run. That chapter is now closed, and they have just an absolutely amazing team now that's running Gibson. And you'll be pleased to know that they've brought back, they've released 3 new ranges called the Original Collection, the Modern Collection, and there's the official re-release of the Custom Shop Collection. I'm mainly going to focus on the Original Collection right now. We'll put some images up on the screen, and we'll also play back some of the stuff that we did at the NAMM show with Cesar when he took us through the whole range there as well.
So what we've decided to do is to bring back those classics that everybody really loves, right? It's about, in this row, it's really about leveraging our iconic past, paying tribute to that golden era of innovation in the 50s and the 60s, which is really so much part of our DNA, and bring all of the features that all of our fans and artists were really craving. And so as you can see here, we have the Les Paul standard.
Yeah.
Like if you and I were asked by our teachers, hey, can you draw a Les Paul standard? This is what we would draw.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So this is, all of these guitars are non-chambered, they're all solid body.
Basically, the biggest news is kind of the specs of the guitars and also the price points that we're going at. I'm really excited to tell you about the new Les Paul Standard, which is available in a 50s gold top with a P90 version.
Yeah. We are also bringing back the version with P90s, also with 50s.
That one's gonna sell by the bucket loads.
I hope so.
Yeah, it will. It will.
There's also a 50s humbucker version.
These 50s spec standards are true to that era, primarily focused on the 59 year.
Yeah.
With the vintage tuners, with the correct volume and tone knobs. They have burst buckers with Alnico 2s. Rosewood, 59 feel on the neck.
Yeah.
And they're all hand wired with the orange drop capacitors and the audio taper, 500K pods.
Yeah,
just like you would have purchased a guitar back in 59.
And there's also a 60s version as well.
So I've got a beautiful looking 60s style one there as well.
There you go.
The reflector knobs on there.
The reflector knobs.
Really nice.
The Grovers. In this case we have burst bucker, 61 on the neck, the R on the neck and the T on the bridge, and with the Alnico 5s.
Nice.
You know.
So it's got a bit more of that kind of, I guess like a Jimmy Page type sort of brighter kind of a attacking
you
tone.
Got it, exactly like we did in the late 60s. And it's got the slim taper neck.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so yeah. And again, our beautiful, that one's in the iced tea, and we've got a Bourbon burst finish one there as well.
The main difference between the 50s and the 60s humbucker versions is the 59 style neck on the 50s version and the 60 slim taper neck on the 60. I think another big thing that a lot of customers have been asking for is a lot of that kind of stuff that was introduced to the Les Paul standards over the last few years, and you know, a lot of customers weren't keen on the bodies being chambered and all that kind of stuff, and the PCB circuit boards inside the guitar. You'll be pleased to know that the Les Paul standard now has a completely solid mahogany back, so with no chambering. It has a beautiful figured maple top, and obviously there's the gold top version as well, which obviously you can't see the maple through that. The key thing with it is the price point. So as of the 29th of April, these Les Paul standards are going to retail for £1,999. So, you know, we've not been able to sell a Les Paul for that kind of spec for a long time with, you know, at that kind of price point. You know, I've been selling guitars for getting close to 20 years now, and you know, this is the most excited I've ever been about a new release from Gibson. You know, they're bringing back what we want as retailers and also as customers. So I think when you get your hands on some of these guitars, you'll be absolutely blown away by how far they've come with the build quality, the spec of the guitars. When you play these guitars, okay, when you compare it to a custom shop, you're still going to absolutely love the vibe and the overall kind of sound and feel of the original custom shop guitars. But at this price point that they're hitting, in comparison to what we've seen over the last few years, they're just an absolute no-brainer. And with the SGs, they've introduced a few more models.
With the 61, and by the way, we've gone to the thin binding on all of these, which is more historically accurate as well, which you can see here. The primary changes from the 61, which we were making before, is that we brought more accurateness on the headstock, as well as with a thin binding. And then we're introducing the Maestro 61 and the Sideways by Brola 61 as part of our no-brainer line.
Yeah, I have an original one of these, and even the colour looks exactly the same, doesn't it? Yeah.
So we brought multiple originals back into the factory to try to figure out which one was going to win in terms of the color scheme.
Yeah.
And then once we decided which color we were going to replicate, then we had our production line make around 20 of them, just to make sure that we were getting them all right.
Once,
Yes. And but yeah, this is another one that, as you very well know, is such an iconic guitar model that we're also bringing back in our no-brainer line.
It's
not the core line anymore.
That's a cool one. Hey, I recognise that little one there.
Yeah,
beautiful.
As well as the Junior, right, in Tobacco Burst with the dog ear. So
yeah, I love that Pelham Blue. It seems like Pelham Blue is properly back with a vengeance now.
It really is. It really is. You know, as you very well know, it was a custom color back in the day, but everybody loves it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's got a following.
Yeah. So we've got a sweet little Junior there on the end, just in the one colour as well, vintage cherry.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yeah.
It's just the ultimate, you know.
Yeah, these are. I think you and I love these, right?
Yeah.
The Juniors have something special to them, that the simplicity of it and just working with the volume and the tone.
I think it's a pretty important time for Gibson, and they basically, all this stuff that you guys have been asking for, they've delivered. So I would say come in and check some of the guitars out. We've got some really good finance options available where you can spread the cost over 24 months, and also the buy now, pay later options that have been quite popular for a lot of customers. So I would say, yeah, come in and check them out, try some out, and I think you're just going to be blown away by the quality and the tone and the overall vibe of these guitars. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Cheers. Bye.